right, welcome. So today's video is full guide to cultivating internal awareness. Obviously, this video is all about the internal, all about building internal awareness, as well as how to use this to transmute emotions, right? Resolving the shadow, right? Actually, like deeply working through and integrating the shadow, as well as different aspects of mastering and conquering your mind. So before we get into the video, if you guys do enjoy at any point in the video, you could go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. I make self-improvement content for beginners and intermediate who want to integrate self-improvement into their lifestyle in order to optimize for more progress, more performance, more success. And then if you want to work with me one-on-one, I have a one-on-one coaching program available. You can DM me on Instagram. We can discuss it there. So what exactly is internal awareness and why is it so important, right? Internal awareness is just your ability to be aware of your internal world rather than being controlled by it. So instead of letting your thoughts dictate your reality, you become aware of the nature of your thoughts and you learn how to actually observe them as they are instead of letting them kind of convince you what they want you to believe that they are. This is essentially a process of learning how to bring awareness into your internal world, so your emotions, your mental, even some of the aspects of the physical, right? The nervous system, being able to bring our awareness into our own body, our own being, and not have so much awareness pulled from us into all of the different external stimuli that we may be giving our attention to. So internal awareness is just your ability to be aware of your internal world, and your internal world is made up of your emotional state, your mental state, and some of the aspects of your physical. And internal awareness is so important because it is the basis of self-awareness, right? Self-awareness is just being able to be aware of our internal world and being able to kind of build an understanding of who we are as individuals through this awareness, through this knowledge of ourselves, through being able to see into our internal aspects and our inner workings. So meditation is the first step here. So meditation is kind of the practical step as far as this video goes. Meditation is the main implementation tool, but meditation is essentially going to give you the ability to develop more awareness of yourself. So you'll be more aware of yourself, more aware of your thoughts, and more aware of when different stimuli pull your attention in different directions, which will be a beginning step and a foundational step in being able to cultivate proper internal awareness. So meditation, when practiced consistently, is going to help you to build more awareness of yourself. It's going to help you to build more mindfulness. You'll be more present. You won't be attached to your thoughts as directly, which is going to make it easier for you to eventually start to observe and actually comprehend and analyze some of these thoughts. So once we have developed a level of awareness through meditation, which is just consistent practice, I have plenty of videos on how to meditate, but it's just a matter of consistent practice in meditation. And once we have practiced meditation consistently, we start to develop a level of awareness, right? We are more conscious, more present, and more mindful. And at this point, we can then start to direct that same energy or that same awareness inwards, right? So instead of being focused on our reality, our present reality, we can start to take that awareness, we can start to take that attention and direct it inwards. And what we are looking to direct it towards, I guess, would be how we feel in each moment, right? Our genuine feelings, right? Actually process how you feel how you feel, instead of constantly avoiding your emotions through other outside stimuli, right? So into emotions, right? Bring your awareness into emotions. Another thing is thoughts, right? Observe your thoughts, the state of your mind, right? Is it negative? Is it positive? What are the different elements of your thoughts, I guess you could say? So what aspects of thought are you more attached to than others? And how can you break some of these attachments if they are negative? basically the point here isn't really to do much. It's more so just to encourage you to explore, to start to bring more awareness into your internal world and all of the different aspects of your internal world. Another thing is your nervous system. Notice how much nervous activation you have at a given time. It's pretty easy to tell if you have the right amount of nervous activation. If you have a little bit of tension, or if you feel a little bit fatigued, you have too much or too little nervous activation. If you feel that you are in a flow state, you are actually right at the exact amount of nervous activation you want to have for the specific activity you're doing, right? And this is going to fluctuate from time to time. When you're in pure flow state, you have that like perfect amount of activation. When you're kind of like teetering in and out of flow state, it's fluctuating some, but it's staying grounded, right? Generally right within that perfect amount of energy. So the different amount of energy in your nervous system and how much is being expressed at once, and whether it's overloading your system or it's not enough for the workload, regardless, bringing awareness into it is going to actually make it easier for you to charge or downregulate the nervous system based on what you need. And then we can start to utilize the breath and breath work in order to bring more nervous energy into the system, or to start to de-stimulate and release some of that energy instead. So as we direct this energy inwards, you're going to start to notice and become aware of certain emotions that are very uncomfortable, that you don't like, certain thoughts and memories and experiences that you've kind of pushed aside that are maybe negative in some capacity. And your process here is going to be learning how to actually let these emotions go, work with them, process them. And I'll give you tools on how to transmute emotions. So if you're going to transmute the emotions, you can use some of these tools. But in general, the main thing you really need to do is just actually feel those emotions and let them be released as a result. So the next step is mastering your mind. So now that we have some more internal awareness, now we can actually start to utilize it to cultivate more internal control, right? Internal power, you could say, and actually start to change and alter and align some of these misaligned aspects. So now the first step is the mind. We'll talk about mastering your mind. Basically, when you start to bring this awareness internally, one of the things you're going to notice is your thoughts. You're going to have a lot of intense thoughts, right? Thoughts that are connected to intense emotions, right? Very strong thoughts, consistent thoughts. All of this is basically just your mind's natural state is just always thinking, which is fine, right? You don't need to change the way your brain operates. However, you are the gardener of your mind, you could say, and your job is to remove pests, and your job is to make sure that you are cultivating the right fruits within your mind. So removing pests, removing disease, removing anything that is misaligned, and actually watering and cultivating the plants that you want to see grow. And that's how the mind works. And when we start to build internal awareness, we can actually start to work with this. So when you become aware of your thoughts, observe the nature of those thoughts. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they somewhere in between, right? And kind of think about how accurate that is to the state of mind that you want to live with. So let's say, a lot of people on self-improvement want to make money. They want to be successful. They want to do something productive with their lives. They want to feel good in some capacity, right? So if that's where you want to be at, you want to be good in some capacity, in any capacity, right? You want to be healthy and fit. You want to be rich. You want to be intelligent, smart, social, charismatic. You want the whole shebang, right? Well, a state of mind that is negative and always putting people down or putting situations not on a positive pedestal, but on a negative pedestal, right? Making sure to overplay how bad things are. Well, that person isn't going to be able to create and cultivate a positive experience of life. So when you observe the nature of your thoughts, think about how accurate they are to the types of thoughts that the version of you that would have all of the success would be thinking, right? So where would that person's mind be, and how far is your mind from that? And then now you can look at, okay, these are the specific things to change in order to get my mind to a closer place in regards to where I actually want to be. And then once you can learn to actually alter your thoughts and control your thoughts and direct your thoughts, you become the master of your mind, and your mind no longer is the master of you, right? Your thoughts no longer dictate your reality because you dictate your thoughts. Your thoughts still dictate reality, but you are the dictator of your thoughts, meaning you now dictate your reality. You now control your reality because you've mastered and controlled your mind. And practicing this on a regular basis, always trying to be self-aware and always trying to pick up on these little subtle misalignments throughout your day that you can then correct and, bring yourself closer to your true goal and where you really want to be and how aligned you really want to be with it. The next step is transmuting emotions. So emotional transmutation is simply the process of converting one emotion from one state to another state. So let's say it's anger, for example. Something makes you angry or upset, and you can either lash out with anger and react with anger, or you can transmute this anger to a form of strength, and then you can also transmute it through actions that would change the situation to then avoid whatever it was that caused the emotion in the first place. And this is what emotion's true purpose is actually to be fuel for us to change a situation that we don't enjoy or to solidify a situation that we do enjoy. And so this is essentially, it's a fuel for us. And the reason we don't get access to it in the way that we're supposed to is because humans have learned to suppress their emotions and not feel their emotions. But these emotions have power. It's just that when we let them control us, just like the mind, when we let them control us, they can make our lives very chaotic. But when we actually begin to control them, they can actually give us more power than they take away. So when you have negative emotions and intense emotions, look at this as an opportunity to harness energy, powerful energy that you can then use to change the situation to better align with whatever state you do want to feel. So if you don't want to feel angry anymore, maybe there's a person involved in your life that shouldn't be. Maybe there is a boundary that hasn't been put up yet. Maybe there is just simply random things going on in your day and you can't figure out what is going wrong. Maybe you just needed to take a step back and have a moment of self-observation and awareness, right? Whatever the emotion is, it's trying to drive you towards a shift in your environment that would cause you to no longer feel the emotion. Anybody who actually understands the nature of emotions would never ask you to try to change the emotion. They would ask you to change the environment because the environment causing the emotion is the problem. And obviously for example, if you are overreacting to something that somebody said, you can't blame the person, but your mental and your psychological environment is the reason for your overreaction here. So regardless, your environment is actually the cause. If your environment isn't aligned with where you want to be, then you're going to feel some form of negative emotion, even if it's subtle. This stuck and tense feeling that people get when they like to be productive and enjoy being productive but find themselves in a rut. That is also a negative emotion designed to drive us towards movement. When we feel weird and stiff and tense and anxious almost in not stillness, but stagnancy, right? There's a difference between stillness and stagnancy. But when we feel this in stagnancy, it's because our bodies are trying to drive us towards more movement. So transmuting emotions is actually the most powerful method for dealing with these emotions. And it can only really be done once you have cultivated a level of internal awareness. Because without proper internal awareness, you won't actually be able to transmute these emotions. You won't even be able to tap in with these emotions, let alone convert them to different states. So the process of transmuting emotions is simply becoming aware of the emotion first, right? Not the situation that upsets you, but the emotion itself. So let's say something happens on the road, some driver pisses me off for whatever reason, I get upset. Instead of me being aware of my anger, by being aware of how pissed I am at this driver, I am aware that I feel angry. I don't care about what caused the anger outside. I'm aware of the anger. I'm aware of the feeling and the emotion. And then once you have a level of awareness of the emotion itself and you're observing the emotion for its nature alone, not the nature of what caused it, but the nature of the emotion alone, you can then start to actually break down the elements that make it seem so dangerous and scary and powerful over you and actually start to convert it into more positive emotions, right? So the process of conversion actually just happens naturally through awareness when you have proper awareness. But by bringing true awareness into these emotions, we can then convert them into a better state. And so we can either release them or we can shift their state slightly and then use them. So, for example, somebody pisses me off on the road. There's nothing physical I'm going to do actively to like deal with this person, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to convert the emotion slightly and kind of calm it slightly. And then I would either do some form of breath work, I'd go exercise, I'd do this or that, but getting energy out. Once you convert the emotion into raw energy, it can be pretty much processed and released through anything at this point. So exercise is great, talking is great, whether it's about the situation or just period, talking is always great. At least for me, I get energy out by talking a lot, kind of why I do these videos. But just different methods of processing and releasing energy is essentially the idea here. So the next and last step is resolving the shadow and inner conflict. So a lot of us actually can feel this, where our brains almost feel misaligned with our hearts, right? We have an intention and a purpose and a drive to go in a certain direction, but we almost have a desire to move in a different direction, right? We have cravings, desires, temptations to move in the opposite direction. So there is a lot of internal conflict for a lot of us, as well as there's negative aspects of our being that some of us haven't yet been able to face and integrate. This is what we call the shadow. And then obviously this internal conflict is also part of the shadow. Because of our lack of integration of the shadow, it creates the sense of internal conflict. We're conflicting with, well, the light version of us rather is conflicting with the dark, the shadow, the negative version of us. So internally, we need to become aware of this confliction and this battle. And by nature, none of these aspects are actually bad, right? One is simply light, one is simply darkness, and the two together are one being, one whole being. We think about masculine and feminine. Both are required to create a child, to create a baby. Both are also required to create reality. So with our being, with our human being, there is a feminine and there's a masculine aspect. There's a feminine and masculine aspect to our psyche and our consciousness and our soul. And the feminine aspect is the shadow, right? And a lot of us have not yet learned to integrate the shadow because a lot of us associate it with something negative, right? But the repressed shadow becomes perverted and twisted. However, the unrepressed shadow, the expressed shadow, the truly integrated being, the whole being, can only truly be good because we as human beings are created in God's image. So when we complete the vessel, then we are actually only able to truly express good, but we are able to express true Christ consciousness into this world because we have integrated fully and deeply both feminine and masculine aspects. Without that, we can't actually be as effective as we hope to be at creating in this world or being aligned with God, because we need both aspects of feminine and masculine. So we need to learn to become aware of our dark side, our darkness, our shadow. And this doesn't mean we go out and be bad people, but it means that we become aware of the aspects of our being that may be viewed as negative or viewed as associated with the shadow, and learn to integrate these things, or rather bring them into the light. And also internal conflict. As far as internal conflict goes, we want to learn to align both aspects of our being. So we want to learn to align both the heart and the mind. So that's why setting a goal intentionally is important, because once you set a goal intentionally, it doesn't matter what counter intentions come up. The intentionally set goal is the only one that matters, because that's the one that you chose to think of and actually put onto paper. So therefore, that's the only one you really care about. No matter how much your brain is going to try to convince you, you care about this other goal more. So learn to bring your whole being into alignment with where you want to go, and then you can learn to integrate aspects of the shadow into your path, your journey, your process, so that you can be more whole, more complete as you go through your journey. So that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you can go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. If you guys do want to work with me one-on-one, you go ahead and click that first link. It'll take you to my Instagram. But other than that, that is all from me, and I'm out of here. Peace.